You've probably heard it before, but footwork might be one of the most important things in pickleball, especially if you're looking to play at a higher level. In this video, I'm gonna give you the 5 most important footwork movements that you need. And make sure you stick around to the end because we saved the most important for last. Okay, so let's dive in. In this video, I'm gonna give you the 5 main movements of footwork that we're gonna use throughout the court. I'm gonna tell you where you wanna use them on the court, when you shouldn't be using them, and how we're gonna sequence them all together. Okay, so the first movement we're gonna talk about is something everybody's done before. It's pretty simple, but I actually think it's underutilized, and that is simply running. Anytime on a pickleball court, you have a lot of space to cover. So if I have to go more than a couple steps in any direction, I wanna square myself up to where I have to go, and I wanna just run there. Too often I see people taking kind of awkward, choppy steps moving around the court, and that's not the most efficient way to get from point A to point B. So if you need to get somewhere and you need to get there quickly, square yourself up to that spot and just run directly towards the ball. Okay, so that's gonna be the first movement that we're gonna have to master. You subscribe so you can not only watch all my past videos, but see everything that I've got coming in the future. Okay, so the second key movement that we wanna work on is gonna be shuffling. So shuffling is when we're just moving laterally without crossing our feet. The main place that you're gonna be using this movement is up at the kitchen line. Because we kind of have this hard line and we're moving a lot of times back and forth on it, when we're up at the line, we're not covering enough distance to turn and run to a ball. So we're gonna be taking those smaller, quicker movements, and we're gonna be looking to mostly shuffle across the kitchen line. And that's how we're gonna be doing most of our kitchen movement, is by using those shuffling steps. Okay, so the third common movement that we're gonna see a lot is the back pedal. So the back pedal would just be me taking backward steps like that. The key here is when you're backpedaling, you usually don't wanna take more than 1 to 2 back pedal steps. So an example of the correct time to do it would be, maybe I pop up a ball, I hit it a little bit high, and I wanna take 1 to 2 quick steps back to play a little bit of defense. Now, an example of the incorrect time would be a lob. If a lob goes up over my head, a lot of times I see people trying to backpedal all the way back. It's not the quickest way to move if you have to cover a lot of distance. So on a lob, it goes over your head. Again, we're gonna go back to that turn, just run to the ball. That's gonna be your fastest way to get from point A to point B. So remember, backpedal if it's only 1 to 2 steps. If you've gotta take more, turn and run. Hey guys, so I want to take a quick pause and shout out my sponsor, Selkirk. If you haven't seen yet, they just released a couple new paddles. This is the Project Labs 007. Tons of technology packed into these paddles. Titanium inside, a new grit surface that lasts way longer, and they come in 2 different models. You got the 10 millimeter and the 14 millimeter. So it's going to be more of your control paddle, and this is packing tons of pop and power. So if you want to check these out, use my code INF-Cincola and you will get a free gift card with your purchase. Okay, so our fourth kind of key movement here is going to be the split step. This is a key one because it's going to get you ready for all of your movements. The general idea on a split step is when your opponent is making contact with the ball, we're going to get in a nice wide athletic base. Now, I'm not gonna go into too much detail on this one because I actually have an entire video on the split step that we're gonna link here on the screen. So if you want more information, really in depth on the split step, go check that video out. Okay, so the last one, this is the key that's gonna kind of bring everything home, and this is called the lunge step. So what higher level players probably do better than anybody is it's pretty easy to actually learn to move around the court. It's easy to learn to run to a ball, it's easy to learn to shuffle, but the hardest part, the key to everything, is how do we slow down that momentum to be in control to hit the ball, okay? So I can run from point A to point B, but the problem is if I just am still out of control when I get there, it's not gonna be great for my shot. So we have to learn, the key is going from full speed to stopped and controlled, okay? So if I'm running and I lunge like this leg is what's stopping my momentum and allowing me control to then be able to execute that shot. So I'm gonna have Carlos come out here real quick and just give you an idea so you can stand in front of me there. So go ahead and lunge forward onto your right leg. Now hold on to this. Now, if I were to try to pull him like this, the energy that he's using, how he's kind of bracing, you're pushing against your right leg to kind of resist, right? So this is the same feel for what it's gonna feel like so you should try this yourself, have a friend do this, but this is what it's gonna feel like if I'm running full speed and I have to try to use this leg or this leg to stop my momentum and get myself kind of grounded in order to be able to hit a ball. We don't wanna just run through the ball like crazy. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to grab your screenshot on the screen right now. So next time you show up to the court, you know exactly what you need to do.